And howdy! Welcome to the latest episode of Your Anime Needs. I'm Nighttime, your host, and yes, I know I've been away for a very, very long time. I do apologize. I was in the process of moving. Things have been quite crazy, but I'm learning to balance, the podcast and other important things going on in my life right now, but rest assured I will always make time for the podcast. So, diving right into it, I have been on an anime binge lately. I don't know if you really want to call it much of a binge, but in my spare time when I have been able to watch anime, now there's just so much anime dropping, it seems as if that I can't keep up. So I'm doing my best to try to balance everything right now in the process of anime, video games and podcasting and full-time job. So it's been a little stressful. On top of that, there's the move, but aside from that, everything's been good, and I've been able to get my anime on. So if you haven't already, on the Twitter pages, basically one of the areas that we like to keep all the latest and greatest anime up to date. It's constantly updating. I have it, have the Your Anime Needs, follow basically, certain accounts that will actually update and give you the latest news and information on what's going on inside the anime world. So you can check that out. You can also check us out on Facebook. And alright, I'm going to go ahead and dive right into what I have been watching, and, the new anime that's going to drop and that has dropped over the course of this summer. So right now on my Xbox One, I'll just tell you all what I am currently watching. And this is just based off of pins. Then I have to go to Internet Explorer and actually check which ones that I am still, have within my queue. So right now I have Nisekoi False Love, which is a romance comedy. I have Golden Time, which is also a romance comedy. I have Amagi Brilliant Park, which is just a comedy. Shin Monita, a boring world where the concept of dirty jokes doesn't exist. Yes, I know it's a very long title, but it's very good. This newly released one called Gangsta. Gangsta is actually really, really good. I mean, I was surprised because mainly when I watch anime, I try not to judge too much based off of the cover or the concept art. So a friend actually recommended Gangsta to me, and wow, Gangsta is. I'm gonna just go ahead and give you a little bit of information on it. Gangsta is a Japanese manga series written and illustrated by Kyosuke. It has been published in Shinchosha's monthly comic Bunch magazine since 2011, and the series has inspired a ton of spin-off manga and audio drama series and an anime television series, as well as an original novel. So I just want to give you, the plot and the characters, and then the rest can kind of work itself out. But the actual series itself, the story revolves around two quote-unquote handymen who takes on jobs both for the mob and the police force. So while these handymen are, dealing with jobs for the mob, the police force sometimes hires them to take on tasks that are deemed too much for the police to handle, and they kind of want to sweep it under the rug and have, not the public eye criticize them for not being able to handle their own situations in a certain way, which is understandable. But to me, this is like a direct correlation between what I, personally believe kind of plays out in the real world, because we don't really see what goes on behind the scenes. But rest assured, there's some crooked and dirty stuff going on. So I feel like Gangsta might bring some of that stuff to light, as well as being a fiction and having an original story. It's very, very good. The two characters are named Warwick Archangelo and Nicholas Brown, and they work in the town of Ergustom, which is full of mafia, hoodlums, prostitutes, dirty cops, etc., etc. The list goes on. Warwick Angelo is Nick's partner. They're both partners. He's somewhat of a gigolo. and he views it as his main job. But Nick killed his own family about 22 years ago in a fit of psychotic rage after witnessing Warwick's dad press a lit cigarette to his left eye, to which this day he still wears that patch over his left eye. And then for Nicholas Brown, Nick is a Twilight, quote unquote, or someone with superhuman abilities gained from the drug Celeber. Nick, he has a problem with overdosing on this, and you see this throughout the course of, the very first few episodes that are displayed. One of the bosses comes up to him and is like, hey, you need to watch it because you're overdosing on that, and stuff costs a lot, and you know what it takes, and this is what could happen to you, and the list goes on. But he is the result of a former Westgate mercenary named Gaston Brown sleeping with a Twilight prostitute. Interesting. So he's a bastard child. Gaston had impregnated the prostitute for the sole purpose of avoiding the expense of hiring a tagged mercenary, and murdered the woman after Nick was born. So Nick was abused by Gaston, who saw him as nothing more than a monster. Nick is deaf. This is a very key attribute about Nicholas Brown. He is deaf, and he communicates primarily through sign language. But, as it goes without saying, he has exceptionally strong vision and lip reading skills. As a child mercenary, he was hired by the Arcangelo family to be Warwick's bodyguard, like all Twilights, and he's identified by the dog tags that he wears. So, that's just a little bit of a background on Gangster. Very, very good anime. Very, very good anime. Anyways, they're doing stuff outside my apartment, but I do apologize. So anyways, Gangster. Very, very good anime. Love it. Highly recommend it. Next up is School Live, or Live. School Live Live. It's actually a zombie-based anime. Haven't really caught up on this one yet, but so far, so good. It's one of the new ones that dropped here. Summer 2015. Excellent. I'm also in the process of trying to catch up on Gatchaman Crowds. I haven't even started this yet. This is my list, people. This is going to be quite extensive, so just bear with me. But Gatchaman Crowds, Classroom Crisis, When Supernatural Battles Become Commonplace. Okay, so when supernatural battles become commonplace, the one thing that I love about this is that they're normal high school friends, or a group of friends, who start a club based on the random supernatural powers that they get one day. And not only that, but they start fighting with one another at different times of the day for over just silly little things. And I love it because it makes for a great comedy, awesome plot and story, and it reminds me of my friends and myself back in high school. And basically I see it as what we would do with our supernatural powers if we had them back in high school. So I could totally see some of the scenarios playing out with me and my friends. And that's what I love about When Supernatural Battles Become Commonplace. It's really awesome. And you guys should definitely give that a look. It's on Crunchyroll, and I do believe it's on Anime Talk on Anime Mobile, but I'm not sure about those two. But Crunchyroll, definitely. Medaka Box Abnormal, and then there's the first season of Medaka Box, which I need to look at. Wow, this guy came around again. Are you serious? I thought it was finished. Alright, he's going away now. But there's another anime that dropped this season called Charlotte. Charlotte is extremely good, has a really good plot. The story revolves around, I guess, there's one person who has the ability to take over anybody else he sees for 5 seconds. He can enter their body and take them over for 5 seconds, leaving his body virtually vulnerable for 5 seconds. It's really awesome. But he can go back to his body, anytime during the 5 seconds, but not anytime after. So it's really good. But what happens is he ends up getting caught by 2 people, and these 2 people are actually a part of a school that they gather or they house students with special abilities. So they're not treated as test subjects by scientists. It's really good. It makes for a fantastic plot. So once they catch this guy, they're like, okay, you have to agree to our terms and conditions. Oh, by the way, you have to go to the school, and you have to help us capture other students who are just like you in the area. So Charlotte revolves around that whole concept, and it's actually really cool seeing it played out. Charlotte is extremely funny, has tons of action, has a really good plot, and, there's not a lot of etchiness going on in Charlotte, which I appreciate, because I hate when anime has just too much boobage and butts, and it's like kind of on the verge of hentai, but it's not hentai. I don't like that. So Charlotte's very good. There's also Chaos Dragon. I have not seen Chaos Dragon yet. I started the first episode, got busy, got sidetracked, and I had to cut it short. So I have not seen Chaos Dragon yet, but I am working on Chaos Dragon. There's also one called Himoto Umaru-chan. Okay. Himoto Umaru-chan revolves around a brother and a sister. The sister, out in public, is a straight A student. She never does anything wrong. She's extremely popular. She's pretty. She's nice, etc., etc. She's the model person. Everybody wants to be like her in high school. All the girls admire her. All the boys want to get with her. But when she goes home, she is a major... She turns into a major, like, otaku. She's like a video game addict. She's like a manga reader. She's an anime watcher. Like, she's huge. But she doesn't want anybody else to know because it would ruin her image. And her brother supports her hobbies. So she asks him all the time, can you buy me this game? Can you buy me that game? Can you buy me the manga? Can you buy me that anime? Can we go here? Can we go there? Can we go to this convention? Da-da-da-da-da. I mean, it makes for an extremely good plot, and it's really, really funny. I kind of see Himoto as, like the girl who doesn't want anybody to know that she really loves anime and video games and manga. But out in public, she's got to keep up this persona and this personality that she's perfect and da-da-da-da-da and this and that. So I don't know if any of you guys can relate to that, but I know I definitely seen a couple cases where this has happened before. Not to this extreme, because it's really extreme, but it's also a really good anime, and I definitely recommend it. Again, this is called Himoto Umaru-chan, and I will be posting and tweeting about it, so don't worry, you guys will be able to see the links and the pictures and more to come on that, but that is it's really good. There's also one called Danshi Guy. I'm not sure what this one is about, but I have not seen this one yet. I'm working on it. I'm behind. I'm watching about 20 to 30 different anime, and I'm falling behind right now, in dire straits. But rest assured, as I finish and I catch up on each one, I'll keep you guys updated and post to Twitter and to Facebook, and make sure you guys know which one I am currently on, which one I'm finishing. One of my favorites right now is called Prison School. Okay. The level of etchiness in Prison School is deplorable. Aside from that, I can get past that, because the plot and the actual characters, the characters also help divert your attention away from, some of the overt sexualization of the scenes and what goes on in prison school. So, in prison school, these 5 boys attend what used to be an all-girls, you could say boarding school or school. So, they start attending an all-girls school, and in the very first episode, I guess like your normal teenage boy would do. I don't know what teenage boy do these days. I'm no longer a teenager, thank God. But anyways, they decide to go peeping on the girls' bathhouse while they're taking a bath, shower, whatever. So they try to go peep. They get caught. And they get caught by the president of the underground prison school for people who trespass and break, their school, like the prison school laws, and one of their laws is there will be no overt sexual acts or anything of such nature. No peeping, no touching, none of that going on while school is in session or out of session. They don't want the interactions between the girls and the 5 boys. They want nothing to do with that. So they get caught peeping, and of course this was grounds to being sentenced to 1 month within the prison school. Now, here's where things get interesting. If they do things right, and if they work hard, blah, 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 they'll get out of the prison school and still be able to attend the regular classes. They watch all their classes online now, all their lectures and everything. It's really funny. It's actually really good. But the thing is, if they break any of the rules, then they get an extension added to their sentence. So say they are sentenced 1 month, they break a rule, they get another month, or another month, or another month. Just depends on their number of violations. And, they're trying to be good and make sure they get out of the prison school. And, one of the boys was like, well, I'll just contact my parents and have them pull me out. And then one of the president of the actual prison school was like, yeah, you go ahead and do that and tell them why you were expelled from school, which would be for peeping on the girls' bathhouse. So they kind of blackmailed them into going to the prison school, but, because nobody wants to tell their parents, oh, well, I got kicked out of school because I was trying to look at naked girls. I mean, come on. You're not going to say that to your mom and your dad. So they agreed to stay within the prison school and actually try to work it out. So prison school is very, 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 very good. Love it, love it, love it. I absolutely love prison school. Extremely funny, great plot. The way the story is unfolding now is good. I burned right through it the first night, and I'll be posting more on prison school as the days go by. And there's another anime I'm currently watching called Rampo Kitan, and that's kind of more of a psychological kind of detective type of anime. It's not bad, to say the least. Not bad at all. So I can't really give you too much on that because my list is just so large right now, and I'm trying to juggle everything. Ooh, hold on, I'm looking. I'm looking at everything I'm watching right now, and I'm on my Xbox One, so I'm busy pinning and and making sure that I don't miss anything. There's another one called The Heroic Legend of Arslan. I'm about to really go in depth on that. Okay, so The Heroic Legend of Arslan. This one... Do I have that pinned to my home? I'm not sure if I have that pinned to my home. Heroic Legend of Arslan. Seraph of the End. I don't want to see it. Assassination Classroom. I'm not getting sidetracked, I'm just looking. Alright, so The Heroic Legend of Arslan is basically a political war drama. I have just summed it up in about 3 words. Political. The politics are extremely heavy in heroic. The Heroic Legend of Arslan. Very, very good. War, tons of war going on, so much action. Wow, I forgot what I just said. Oh yeah, politics, war, drama. Sorry. Okay, politics, war, and drama. I mean, it's not a love story. There's very little romance in it, but what I mean by drama is that, there's betrayal, there's death, why would he betray me, da-da-da-da-da, he's supposed to be my son, my father, my royal, my friend, like that. So the system of hierarchy in Heroic Legend of Arslan comes into effect, right? When you have this in effect, of course there's going to be drama, and due to the politics in Heroic Legend of Arslan, you have kingdoms trying to take over land, and kingdoms making deal with other kingdoms, and people trying to usurp power of other people betraying the king and, the royals, and it's very good. It's also gory. I was surprised because I did not think that the Heroic Legend of Arslan was that. I didn't think it was that that gory, because I thought the rating said TV-14, so I was like, oh, cool, this won't be... No. No, not TV-14. It's out there. It's really out there, and that's really one of the things that I love about it, because it's not all the time that you get a really good political war drama. Like, kind of think of the 12 Kingdoms in a sense, although 12 Kingdoms is really, really old school. Like, 12 Kingdoms is ancient. I watched that when I had to be about 11 or 12 when I saw the 12 Kingdoms, but I fell in love with it, and I just love the concept of how, the kingdoms playing out, and, just remind me of some old school, no guns, just back to samurais and spears and shields, and it definitely drew my attention, and that is for sure. So I'm in the midst of watching just tons of, there's so much out this season, and if you're like me, you want to keep up with everything, but at the same time you want to make time for other things, because that's what you do. Like, you want to play video games, you want to watch anime, but right now I'm at a point where there's so much anime dropping, like I can hardly keep up. There's also one called Food Wars, which is really, really good. Food Wars is exactly how it sounds. There's a young chef who attends this prestigious school. He's trying to get to the top rank in his school and graduate, to prove to his father that he did it. He's also trying to beat his father in a cooking battle. He's an extremely good chef. The level of, I'll say, food knowledge that goes into, it's called, the Japanese name is Shokugeki no Soma, or Food Wars. The level of food knowledge is incredible. You will definitely learn something about cooking if you watch this show. I don't know if there are many cooks out there who watch a lot of anime, but this has cooking down to a T. I don't know who the writer for this they have to have background knowledge on the culinary industry. They have to know their stuff, because whoever writes this is very knowledgeable about food, how to cook, the temperatures, the meats, the spices, the aromas, the list goes on, and Food Wars tackles this beautifully. It's absolutely gorgeous to see. It is ecchi, but at the same time, it's going to impart some knowledge on you. And I love when I can watch anime and actually learn something new. People say, oh, well, you can always read a book, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, that's cool, but I love it when I can actually watch anime and being entertained while also learning something at the same time. It's been a very good draw for me. And, of course, we live in the age of entertainment and technology, so, why not? Why not add, a little learning session to your anime binging? It's very cool. I really like that. I really appreciate that. I'm just going to go, and I'm looking now to see if I'm missing anything, and I do apologize if I didn't tackle anything that you're currently watching, but like I said, my list is seemingly never ending now. Let me go ahead and look up Prison School. Yeah, so I'm looking at Prison School right now. Oh man, Prison School. Prison School is so outrageous. It's so funny. Prison School is extremely funny. I love it. I love Prison School. Let me go ahead and unpin that. Oh yeah, there's another one called Amagi Brilliant Park. It's about theme parks. Since I love theme parks, I had to go ahead and give this a view. Extremely funny. Gonna have to check that one out. There's also one called Rock of the Braves, or Braves of the Six Flowers. Rock of the Braves is very, very good so far. Very, very good. It revolves around, an ancient myth, a lore. There's a demon. There are heroes that have to go fight this battle against evil, and it's really good, and it's picking up, and I'm loving this. I'm also watching Dragon Ball Super, If any of you guys got the chance to see the Dragon Ball Z movie Resurrection of F in theaters, please let me know and please tweet at me and let me know what you think. I'm not sure. I know Frieza came back in that movie and he had to fight him, but I just wanted to see it and wasn't really able to make it out to the movie theater at the time, so I know it dropped this past week only in select movie theaters only. So if you were one of the lucky few that actually were able to get a ticket and go out and see that, man, kudos to you. Let me know what you think of the movie. That would be greatly appreciated. So, like I said before, as I finish, each series that I'm on, and I'm going to have to do this weekly now, but as I go over and finish each series, I'm going to have to start, tweeting out what I'm currently watching and what I actually finished, so that way it'll give you guys kind of an idea of my of my list of. Oh man, I got a long list. Good God. Okay, of my list of just a crap ton of anime that I'm watching, but I am keeping up with a certain few that are good. So I can't give that up. So on my Xbox One, it can only show 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. It can only show 22 pins. I have 22 pinned anime to my Xbox home. And that's not on top of everything that I've been reading. Stop listening. I had to tell my Xbox to stop listening. So, so I'll just give you guys a little inside sneak peek at what in the world is going on. So, as things, kind of calm down for me, I'll be able to tweet more and put on Facebook more, and, things are going to be alright. So, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, or if you would like me to recommend any anime that you should watch, or if you want to let me know what I should watch, and, please feel free to tell me, and, just let me know. I'm open to any and all suggestions, except for and ecchi. So, I am Nighttime. You can follow me on Twitter at KN1GH7IME. You can also check out the Your Geek Needs and Your Anime Needs on Facebook and on Twitter. And we will be having links, descriptions, comments, concerns, questions, anything that you want answered. We will provide the best possible answer that we can for you. So, you have been listening to the Your Anime Needs podcast. I'm Nighttime, and I am out.